D23 revealed a quick Zootopia 3 teaser that is packed with little details, showing many things that are going to happen in Judy and Nick's third movie. And at the same time, give us several ideas for theories about things we believe would be really cool to see happen in the next movie set in the Animal City. Without a doubt, the most striking thing of all that appears in the teaser is a bird's stomp that happens on the newspaper dropped on the ground, leaving a mark that is impossible to associate with any other animal that doesn't have feathers. But when we look at the newspaper itself, we can notice some hints about things that will happen in the third movie. For example, there's an article with the following title: "A list of our favorite ships, a ranking of the greatest ships made by our shippers." Theoretically, this seems to be a simple list of vessels for people who love to travel on cruises, right? It would be just that if right next to it we didn't have a photo of Judy and Nick disguised with mustaches, exactly like the ones they are wearing in the final scene of the movie, shortly before they arrest Bellwether for the second time, who was trying to escape through the Zootopia airport. So the ship mentioned in the article is nothing more, nothing less than a reference to the protagonist duo, Judy and Nick, which is a couple that fans love to ship. And it seems that the franchise producers will finally put this into practice in the next movie, if you know what I mean. This makes us imagine that maybe, I repeat, maybe, we'll get the couple's first kiss in the franchise. The post-credits scene itself lets this show, when one of Judy's noisy neighbors, upon realizing that she is repeatedly playing the recording of Nick saying that he loves her, asks her what their next step will be. And he wasn't just referring to the two police partners' next case, but also to the next step in their relationship, don't you think? We can also notice a few other really cool details in this quick teaser. For example, if you look at the other side of the street, you will see that the fast food joint that makes bug burgers in Zootopia, Bug Burger, appeared for the first time. It had already appeared as Easter eggs at a few other times in the first two movies, where we could find scattered around the city some burger boxes made with bugs that the predators of the Animal City simply love. They say they serve delicious cricket fries. Are you brave enough to try them? Furthermore, we can see walking down the sidewalk the exact same ram who was getting his wool trimmed at the barbershop at the beginning of the second movie, when Judy and Nick were in a chase and threw sheep's wool everywhere. And out of nowhere, the ram appeared with a completely different haircut, which he simply loved. Actually, he walks right in front of the Bug Burger burger joint. As soon as the teaser finished being shown to the D23 audience, it was announced that the main new character from the second movie would be back: Gary, the Blue Pit Viper. This proves that officially, from this moment on, he will become a part of the Wild and Hops investigation team, which makes us wonder if the friendly female beaver Nibbles will also return, since she was genuinely very important to the story of the second movie. Another character we'll probably see again in the third movie, even if it's just on a TV screen or on a poster at one of the Zootopia movie theaters, is Mayor Winddancer. This is because one of the news stories printed in the newspaper is that he would be filming the sequel to one of his action movies in the best 90s tough guy style. Besides that, another character that showed up was the fellow police officer who works in the department's IT sector, Paul the Mole, who at the end of the movie ends up getting stuck in a donut, showing that he hadn't managed to break free from the donut. Actually, he only gets loose when Clawhauser, who was the one who ended up trapping him in the donut in the first place, ends up taking the donut back and eating it right after. But as soon as the tiny mole gets loose, a feather from a large bird, the same one that had fallen on Judy's window, is blown by the wind and drags the poor guy through the air once again. In addition to all these characters, we are certain that others who are familiar faces in Zootopia will show up again, such as Judy's parents, Chief Bogo, and the Animal Pop superstar Gazelle.
If you're enjoying the video, subscribe to the channel now so you don't miss any new videos.
But besides the old characters, we will have several new ones who will definitely appear. The first of them is the one we can only see the feathers and the claw of on top of the newspaper. I'm not exactly a bird expert, but judging by the size of the claws and the feather, which was capable of carrying Paul the Mole away, we can deduce that it's a large bird. Like an eagle, for example. Or who knows, a hawk or a falcon. Of course, since all Zootopia movies revolve around some mystery that needs to be solved, we can imagine that new members of the police force will be introduced. But we are talking about the city's aerial police force, made up exclusively of birds. But if you've studied a little bit of biology, you know that some birds can't fly, like chickens and penguins, for example. So, have you ever imagined if a police officer showed up at the department coming straight from the freezing waters of the South Pole with a very funny walk and a beak? He would be a rookie that Judy and Nick would need to train, and would be assigned to help the duo investigate the mystery involving the franchise's new feathered characters. In our heads, his name would be Dustin the Penguin. So, what do you think? Another new character that fans would love to see in the next Animal City movie would be none other than Nick's dad. This is because in the only scene we see the sly fox as a child, we can see his mother helping him dress up as a scout, but his father is neither seen nor mentioned. What reinforces this theory is the fact that originally, in the movie's story, Nick's father was going to be seen as a very talented tailor in Zootopia, but he ended up being cut from the feature film after the story was modified. If there's one thing Zootopia is really good at, it's delivering excellent villains for us. Just like Bellwether and the Linksley family. Especially Paubert. Seriously, I do not like that guy. We can imagine that we'll have an even more complicated villain for our heroes to deal with in the third movie. And our guess is that he was actually already shown in the second movie. To be more exact, he would have been shown in the movie's trailer. It's that hooded character who was exactly cornering Judy, Nick, and Gary on top of a building. Now, think about it with me. What is the best place for mammals that don't fly to encounter birds in Zootopia? Exactly, on top of a building. And it could very well be a new leader of the birds who wants birds to take their rightful place in the animal world, which, as we see in Zootopia, is almost completely dominated by mammals. But what if the movie doesn't have just one villain, but rather two? That's because a lot of people have no idea, but originally there was going to be an explanation for Bellwether's plan to try and frame the predators in Zootopia. She wasn't going to just be a little sociopathic sheep. In the Zootopia art concept book, there was a character who was going to be a ram working as a spy for the city government. He would disguise himself as a wolf to hang out in the most dangerous places in the city. He would literally be a sheep in wolf's clothing, instead of a wolf in sheep's clothing. This agent would be none other than Bellwether's own father. The art book for the first movie doesn't give details of what would happen to him. However, we can imagine that his end would probably be tragic, which would motivate the little orphan sheep, in this case Bellwether, to seek revenge not only against the politicians and her father's bosses, but also against the predators who caused him a sad end. The detail is, what if the villain's father from the first movie didn't really pass away? What if he just spent all this time pretending he had kicked the bucket, just so he could disappear and, who knows, put into practice his plan to make predators be completely subjugated by the other mammals? If this happens in Zootopia 3, he would need help, and he would definitely go to the Animal City's municipal prison to break his daughter and right-hand woman out from behind bars to help him successfully execute his plan. Because he is a master of disguises, he would spend the whole movie passing himself off as some character who is loved and admired by everyone. Like, for example, a new wolf cop who becomes a hero after saving Mayor Winddancer's life from an attack he himself orchestrated with Bellwether's help. Now that would be a huge problem for Judy, Nick, and Gary, who is now part of the team, to manage to unravel. And they would have to race against time. After all, they would be accused of organizing the attack on Mayor Winddancer. I don't know about you, but I would love for a story like this to be told in the next Zootopia movie in theaters.
We'll stop here, but you can still keep watching more incredible videos. Just click on either of these two appearing for you. Until next time.